Hello and welcome to our on-demand webinar exploring streamlined grading in Blackboard. Here are our goals for today. So we're really going to explore that grading workflow, think about capabilities. We're going to look at some rubrics and some feedback options and look at originality too. Let's begin by thinking about assessment grading. The grading workflow allows instructors to view student submissions and files. Additionally, a comment may be made by the instructor. The instructor may enter a grade and determine to post the grade for the individual student or wait to post grades until all student submissions have been graded. If you're using group assignments, students in a group will receive the same grade, but then instructors can choose to give students different grades if desired. A gradebook column is created automatically for each assessment. Although Blackboard scores many question types, you must manually grade some questions, such as essays. You enter the course gradebook tabs from within the course by clicking on the gradebook in navigation bar. To help instructors stay on top of their grading workload, we have an indicator to the gradebook tab to let instructors know when there are new submissions to grade. The indicator displays the number that needs grading. If it goes higher than 99, it displays as 99 plus. The Overview tab contains two sections. Let's explore them. First of all, the Needs Grading section. This is a really useful tool for prioritising the number of tasks that need grading. It allows an instructor to see all items that are ready for a grade and a count of the total number of outstanding grading tasks in the course. This section displays up to 5 items at a time, ordered by the oldest ungraded submission. An instructor can select Grade Now to quickly access the submissions they need to grade. If an instructor's course has more than 5 items that need grading, they can use the buttons at the bottom of the section to navigate through all pending tasks. We then have the Needs Posting section. This is a really useful tool to increase the accessibility of assessments with grades that are completed and need posting. To post now, an instructor can select an item. If there are more than 5 items that do need posting, instructors can use those buttons at the bottom of the section to navigate through each individual pending task. Flexible grading is an efficient assessment grading experience, allowing instructors to grade in a way that is most efficient for them. The flexible grading experience is designed to align with natural workflows, allowing instructors to grade more effectively than ever before. This interface has a task-orientated navigation focusing on the submissions and questions instructors need to grade. It provides intuitive and streamlined navigation, eliminating any artificial barriers. It saves time and effort when navigating from student to student or question to question. There are supported assessment grading configurations, such as individual student test and assignment submissions, single and multiple attempts, as well as being able to grade with rubrics, use Safe Assign, and also have the functionality of anonymous submissions. Other assessment configurations will continue to route through to the current grading experience. So this includes things such as group submissions, being able to have 2 graders per student, and even peer review. When grading by student or by question, instructors can provide contextual feedback and show an example of a correct response. Instructors are able to add feedback to all question types. Question level feedback promotes deeper understanding and personal growth for our students. Question level feedback can also include audio and video feedback by the instructor, adding a really authentic personal touch. This question level feedback enhances overall submission and automated feedback for auto-graded questions. Grading an assignment with a rubric allows an instructor to ensure that there is clarity, consistency, efficiency, and objective alignment. This makes the grading workflow faster and easier for the instructor. It also provides the student with detailed information about their assignment expectations and feedback. Let's explore some further functionality around grading and submissions. An instructor is able to change the grade category. The grade category can be changed to be part of one of the custom gradebook categories you may have set up in your course. You can create new categories to customize how coursework is grouped in your course. You can use the default and custom categories when you set up the overall grade. You're able to determine the number of attempts. You can let your students submit more than once. When you do allow multiple attempts, you can also choose how the final grade is calculated. To determine how those attempts will be graded, there's a way to see which attempt displays as needs grading. From the Attempts to Grade menu, you can choose options from first attempt, the default of last attempt, or you can simply see all attempts. Instructors will always have access to all attempts submitted by a student. The Attempts to Grade setting only controls which attempt display as needs grading to support whichever workflow the instructor chooses. If all attempts is selected, the instructor must also select the calculation method for the student's grade. So from the final grade calculation menu, the options are average, highest, which is the default, or lowest. You can then select a grading schema. From the Grade Using menu, select an existing grading schema such as points. A test score consists of the sum total of all the question's points. You can change the grading schema at any time, and the change will appear to students in your gradebook. You're able to set maximum points. If you create a test that only consists of text blocks, you can manually set the maximum score. Otherwise, edit the points value of individual questions. You're also able to enable assessment grade. You can automatically post a student's grade once grading is completed. Turn the setting off if you want to manually control grade publication. Let's take a look at that in some more detail. And we will begin with looking at how an instructor can actually view and select the different attempts that a student may have taken. So by default, the grading page displays the most appropriate attempt based on the grade attempt setting. So whether you have decided to display all, display the first, or display the last. This allows instructors to quickly evaluate and grade student work. When the grade calculation method requires additional grading tasks, the instructor is taken to that task. If not, the most appropriate graded attempt is displayed. Instructors may allow students to submit multiple attempts for an assessment to improve the quality of the assessment and boost student success. However, there are some circumstances where an attempt doesn't need to be graded. For example, the student may have submitted the wrong file, or their submission may be incomplete. To accommodate this, there's an option to exclude the attempt. This will help instructors to remove submissions from the grading workflow without the work of having to delete them. When grading a student, you're now able to select Exclude Attempt to remove it from the needs grading workflow. The excluded label appears above the grading attempt and in the attempt selector. Grade calculations will then ignore any excluded attempts. Students aren't automatically granted an additional attempt if one is excluded, but you can grant additional attempts to the student via the exceptions workflow. Let's take a look at inline grading. Inline assessment grading allows you to annotate directly within the browser on files that have been uploaded using Blackboard or BB Annotate. BB Annotate is supported on current versions of Firefox, Chrome and Safari. This feature will convert any supported submissions for display in the inline viewer. In this view, you can assign a grade and provide feedback to the learner using a variety of annotation features such as comments, highlights, freehand drawing tools, various colour sections and much more. Supported file types will open automatically in the browser for you to view and annotate with its original formatting preserved. Many document types are supported in the browser, including Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Open Office documents, digital images such as JPEGs, TIFFs, PNGs, medical images, PDFs, and many more. If a student has uploaded an unsupported file, you'll be prompted to download it. When grading file-based submissions, a tabbed interface appears, making it easier. The first tab displays the assessment instructions. After that, there's one tab for each submitted file. The first attached file displays by default. Assignment submissions created through the editor are not compatible with inline grading. In the grading sidebar, instructors can grade the submission. You can also view the assignment details, the grade, the rubric, and each attempt. After assigning a grade, return to this screen to review the grade and comments. Additionally, instructors can create multiple comments in BB Annotate without selecting the comment tool for every comment they wish to add. However, the comment tool will get deselected if an instructor scrolls through the document. But if they fit the document to the screen, the comment tool will stay selected. The BB Annotate preview flattens any PDF file uploaded to an assignment. All text comment annotations made before submission will appear as yellow boxes in the document and will not be movable or collapsible. Drawings, pictures, shapes, and other annotations that are not comments will appear normally and won't be movable after flattening. A flattened file allows students to see their drawable annotations made with iPad or Microsoft Surface Pens on PDF preview before the professor grades it. Feedback is available to students, which may be used to give suggestions, encouragement, and overall comments about the submission, while an Add Notes link allows instructor to add notes that only they can see, for example, to keep track of students' progress during the revision process, to reference when they're looking at assigning the final grade. Instructors can embed audio and video recordings with feedback as they grade attempts. Learners can then watch and/or listen to instructor feedback alongside any text that's been included. Audio and video feedback can really help instructors to connect with learners and provide really authentic feeling feedback for their submissions. Instructors can find the recording option in the feedback area for grading items. Once they've clicked the record button, they'll see a 5-second countdown before the recording starts. They're notified that the recording is now live with a small recording message at the top of the window. They can now record up to 5 minutes of feedback. There's also the option to press pause and then resume the recording at any point. After pausing the recording, clicking resume will give another 5-second countdown before the recording resumes. Once they've finished, they can click stop and end the recording. Anonymous grading ensures fair grading by reducing the potential for grading bias. The focus shifts from the student to the quality of the work, thus improving accountability. Student names are hidden whilst you grade, and they're revealed only after you post the grades. To enable this option, select Hide Student Names in the Settings panel of Tests and Assessments. Many of the key settings and features will work with anonymous grading, such as due dates, being able to prohibit late submissions, using presentation options, and even formative assessments. With Safe Assign, results are hidden while anonymous grading is enabled, and after you post the grades, names are shown and you can view the originality reports. You can allow students to submit multiple attempts when you enable anonymous grading. Student names remain hidden for each attempt. In the gradebook, you can view how many attempts each student submitted and how many you have to grade. Delegated grading allows instructors to sometimes distribute the grading workload for an assessment to multiple graders. This is a popular practice in larger classes. Instructors can assign graders to groups of students with the delegated grading option. Each grader only sees the submissions made by the students in the group or groups assigned to them. Instructors can also use delegated grading in combination with anonymous submissions and tests. Now let's think about SafeAssign. SafeAssign compares submitted assignments against a set of academic papers. It identifies any overlap between submitted text and existing works. It scores on the probability that two phrases have the same meaning, and it should be used as a warning indicator only. To use SafeAssign, on the Create Assignment page, a SafeAssign section appears in the assignment settings. Select Enable Originality Report. Additional options are allow students to view the SafeAssign Originality Report for their attempts, or exclude submissions from the institutional and global reference databases. When the report is processing, you'll see a report in progress message, and when it's ready to view, a percentage appears in the grading sidebar. Expand the SafeAssign link and click View Originality Report to view these results in a new window. So here's that setting in more detail. So once you open assignment settings or test settings in a new or existing assessment, under SafeAssign, select Enable Originality Report. Select Check Submissions for Plagiarism with SafeAssign to enable SafeAssign for the assessment. Once you do, you can also allow students to view the originality report. If you do allow multiple attempts, an originality report is generated for each attempt a student submits. You also have the option to choose whether to exclude submissions from the institutional and global reference databases. Direct Submit allows you to quickly add resources to the institutional database that aren't already available in SafeAssign. You can also use it as a private library of content you believe students might copy from, or to submit content on behalf of a student for originality testing. So the steps for a SafeAssign Direct Submit. From the content page of a course, under Details and Actions, select View Course and Institution Tools. Under Instructor Tools, select SafeAssign. Choose how to submit your content. You can upload a file, drag and drop, or find a file on your device. You can even use a zip file to upload multiple resources at once. You can copy and paste text, select those upload options, and then check for plagiarism. This processes the submission and generates the originality report. When turned off, the submission is processed, but a report isn't generated. Turn this option off when you don't require a report, but you do want to compare all future student submissions against the uploaded resources. When you switch this on, submissions are added to the institutional database. A SafeAssign Originality Report provides detailed information about the matches found between a student's submitted paper and existing sources. Both instructors and students can use the report to review assignment submissions for plagiarism potential and create opportunities to identify how to properly attribute sources rather than paraphrase. When instructors create an assignment and choose to use the SafeAssign service, they can determine if students can see the results of the report. The report identifies all matching blocks of text. Instructors and their students need to determine if the matching text is properly referenced. Investigating each match prevents detection errors due to differences in citing standards. The originality report displays the list of potential sources, and each source is highlighted in a different colour. The report can display up to 30 colours to represent 30 different sources. A SafeAssign Originality report is divided into 3 areas: report information, citations, and the manuscript text. Once all of those submissions are complete and you've posted your grades, students can find them in their activity stream by selecting View My Grade. They can also access the assignment in the course to review the grade and feedback in context. Now we'll take a look at the Student Activity Report. Instructors can view reports on student activity by clicking the item's More Options icon on the content outline and selecting Student Activity. This will provide a student activity overview report pertaining to all students on that one activity. The Student Activity Overview provides aggregate information about your students' performance on the assessment, such as the number who've reviewed instructor feedback. The top of the page shows you an overview of information, including the course average submission time, time to open, time before due date, and submission activity for all students. The grade distribution shows the grades you've assigned to students. The bottom half of the page includes individual student activity, including each student's names, activity timeline, start to finish time, and grade. You can view this data in two modes, grid view or chart view. The grid view displays an activity timeline in a visual box and whisker plot graph. You can hover over the tick marks on the plot to see important markers of student activity, such as the date the student opened the assignment. The chart view provides the same information as the graph, but each time detail is listed in separate columns with numerical data. If you want, you can choose to download the data for all of your students. Select Download in the upper right section of Student Activity Details. In the Student Activity Details section, you can send a message to a specific student from the default grid view. Select Message and send a message to one of your students. You might be inviting the student to meet with you one-on-one or during office hours to discuss activity within the course. You can also view activity for discussions. Discussion analytics provide you with insights to forum participants and all of their activity. This information can really help you to identify students who are participating and those who may need more support. And now a quick reminder of the fabulous resources and support that you can find in several places to support your modernisation move with Blackboard. I would highly recommend that you join the very vibrant anthology community. This is a place where you can share practice, connect with, and ask questions of an incredibly active and vibrant group of anthology and Blackboard users. So do make sure that you join that group. You'll also find links there to things like the live versions of the session that we've covered today and many others pertaining to topics in modernisation, and find further resources here. If you do have any questions, do feel free to reach out to your local anthology teams, and otherwise, a huge thank you for joining me today.